Hello, Pete and the Cats, and the rest of the Spa family. This is Odell here, completing the session 8 assignment for Scott's class. I really struggled in many ways to complete this assignment because I found myself thinking about and just really very passionate about things that were exclusively related to English. Like I fostered very, very useful, very, very productive Socratic seminars in my class. I've developed like some worksheets and systems to help even non-English teachers develop writing workshop like components and skills for college essays. But in my group, Pete and the Cast have been reading this passion-driven classroom, and I found myself thinking about how to address or how to foster sort of passion in the classroom. And so that's what I'm going to take a shot at in this brief video here today. So here we have a statement that I'm sure everybody's heard before, that students don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. And I know at least ostensibly we believe that as educators. I can walk into any classroom and I think any teacher would agree with this. The problem is that the school year begins, and I think we often forget this in many ways. I think we forget it for a lot of reasons. A lot of people will come into the class and say like, hey, look at their learning gaps. I mean, the students need more reading, they need more computation skills, they need more comprehension skills. There's no time to me to talk about mushy, like this is what I care about things. There's like objectives that I need to accomplish every day. There's SMART goals that the students in like school as are keeping me accountable for. There's standardized tests that I'm going to be evaluated on. And so somehow in the middle of this rat race, we forget we really cloud out any passion that many students and even ourselves would have had for our content. A learning objective for today is that you will have some tangible tools to cultivate passion in your classroom. And I believe that this passion, like to cultivate this passion, it starts with communicating how much you care. And so the idea of like a passion gap is that there's a large gap between what students are currently doing and what they're capable of doing if they were actually passionate. And again, I think that the beginning of closing this passion gap, just to communicate to students that you care. And so for me, here's some small ways that you can like do this. The first thing, this is very, very simple, but I think that it has high impact, is on every quiz, I put some type of like fun or funny question. So sometimes I'm asking like, what is your favorite TV show? Like, who's your best friend? What are your plans for this weekend? I've even asked like, who do you have a crush on, right? And so this helps my students in three different ways. The first thing is I would say that it literally changes the way the students respond to quizzes. And what I mean is that they literally look forward to answering what they know is going to be a silly question on the quiz. The second thing is that when I'm grading it, right, I look forward to reading them because my students are always sort of expressing their humor, like through these questions. And then the last thing is that, and this is probably the most important thing, is that it gives me something to talk about. It gives me something to communicate with students about. And so when I read like what their plans for the weekend are on Friday, and then I ask them on Monday, like how did it go? That's the beginning of me kind of showing that I like care about them. Then also as a part of my do now process, you guys are familiar with the mood meter. This is one that I found like very, very useful because it gives them specific language to describe their feelings. So as opposed to just saying like, hey, I feel kind of blue today, right? I can say that I feel like drained or apathetic or like maybe even alienated. And again, me asking them on do nows, how do they to like circle one of these words is very, very useful in like fostering this conversation that follows. In addition to that, I typically try to take at least once or twice a semester where I am addressing goals that are like important to me, like as in everybody has something that they're passionate about that I'm assuming is outside of like the content that they teach. And so, for example, I will hope that my students are like just like grateful people. I hope that like when they graduate, they're a little more grateful for things than they like used to be. Maybe you are saying that, hey, I wish that my students were like more courteous, or like, hey, I wish they were a little bit like less like so technology driven and like got back to like human storytelling. And so I think that these are aspects of the curriculum that are just as important as content. And so I think that that conversation or this passion is cultivated when we begin by saying like, hey, I don't teach English, I actually teach people. And so these people have learning needs that are outside of like the curriculum. And so for me, one thing that I was very passionate about is like this idea of gratitude. And so to address this, I asked students for a do now on a given day to think about the person who has influenced their life the most, and to write a letter about how the person impacted them or like made them a better person. And so I began the class by having them write this do now, and then I played this video.
What makes you happy? Having fun? Hanging out with friends? Delicious food? Making money? Well, consider this. Psychologists have scientifically proven that one of the greatest contributing factors to overall happiness in your life is how much gratitude you show. Yeah? Think about that. Go ahead and marinate on it for a second. You can thank me later if you want. It'll make you feel better according to this study. You go ahead and click on it and read it if you want. Or you can keep watching because we read it and we thought it might be fun to test out for ourselves. We gathered a selection of volunteers to act as our subjects. First, we gave them a test. They didn't know what we were looking for, but it gave us a pretty good idea of their current level of happiness. We asked them to close their eyes and think of somebody who was really influential in their life, somebody who did something really amazing or important for them. We had them write down as much as they could about why this person was so important. Now, a lot of them thought at this point the experiment was over, until we really put them on the spot and tried to get them to call that person and read what they wrote about them. Thank you, Jessica. We're going to have you call your mother. So who is that right person for you?
Person is my sister, Erica.
We're going to give Erica a call.
Okay.
Who'd you end up picking?
Friend of mine, Craig Ains. Her name is Dora.
My college accounting instructor.
Really? Is this somebody you're still in touch with today?
No, I'm assuming that he's passed on.
That's a
to
shame.
the great beyond.
You up for it?
Yes.
What would you say if we called up Dora?
Oh, we can try, but she lives in Sweden.
In Britain?
I don't know a number by heart. This is awful.
That's fine. I don't know my mom's number by heart.
If it's true that those who are going on are looking down on us, maybe he read my chicken scratch.
Hey, sweetheart.
Hey, how you doing?
Yeah.
You got a second? Where you at? In the hotel?
I am. I'm in the hotel. You scared me when you asked if I had a second if something's wrong.
No, I'm on like this little TV show, and they told me to talk about the person that influenced me the most, and I picked you, and they're making me call. They're making me call you.
Oh, wonderful.
Hi, you reached Craig. I'm not here right now.
At the tone, please record your message.
Oh, come on.
Hello?
Hi,
Hi.
Erica. It's me.
All right, so I got to read you this paragraph. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Go ahead,
All right.
sweetheart.
All right. The person that influenced me the most would be my mother, Marlo Dawson. She is a single mother of two. She is a very hard worker and dedicated to her family.
Hey, Craig. This is Loie. This is going to be a funny little voicemail, so I hope you enjoy it. I'm so sorry for calling you at 4 o'clock in the morning. I have to read this to you, okay? And you can't say anything, or I don't know. You can respond, but I probably will just keep going. Okay?
Is everything okay?
Yes, but I have to read this out loud to you.
The person who has had the biggest impact on my life, outside of Jesus Christ, who is responsible for my existence, was my college accounting instructor. He had a joy and enthusiasm for his job like no other teacher I have ever known.
I love her to death, and she keeps me going with positive talk. She is a woman that knows what she wants and won't give up until it is achieved.
Oh, something. I don't know what. I'm about to cry because it's so beautiful. I have to say that's just wonderful.
I first met Craig on an independent feature film set in Whitefish, Montana. I recently have been sending Craig a lot of positive thoughts as he suffered a series of health problems. Despite his medical problems, he's continued to work and take pleasure in the small things in life, like sitting quietly with his wife Janine on the porch. Erica is my older sister and my best friend. Sometimes it even feels like we are twins. She's my #1 fan and my #1 supporter. She makes me happy because despite all my mistakes and my decisions, she still loves me no matter what. Your friendship is everything. And you are one of the most important person in my life. Even when she has a kid and many children, I will love her more than her kids. Okay, maybe not. I will never forget when she flew 3,000 miles at the drop of a phone call to save me from a breakup.
I'm being blessed by having a son like you. I love you.
Bye.
Why did you do this?
I don't know, because they made me do it. Thank you for picking up. Bye, sweetie. And then they're like, here, you're going to write this letter. And then I wrote like this whole long-ass letter, which, you know, I like don't write. And then all of a sudden they're like, hey, guess what? Now we're going to call her and you're going to read her this letter. And I was like, what the
Before we let them go, we gave our subjects one more happiness test. Now, we mixed up and rephrased the questions so they didn't know they were taking the same test twice. For those who took the time to actually write something down but couldn't make the phone call for whatever reason, we saw happiness increase between 2 and 4%. Good, but not exactly mind-blowing. Now, for those who actually picked up the phone and personally expressed their gratitude, we saw increases between 4 and 19%. So either way, expressing your gratitude will make you a happier person. But you want to know something really interesting? The person who experienced the biggest jump in happiness was the least happy person who walked in the door. What does that mean? That means if you're having a particularly tough time, trying this out will more likely have a greater impact on you. Trust me. I'm in a lab coat. In fact, while you're at it, film it and upload it to us. And
So, again, this was a video. So I kind of had a group of students, and I kind of thought in many ways like, hey, they're kind of just sort of entitled, sort of selfish students, right? Rather than just complaining about it, I decided to deliberately develop a curriculum that would like address that. And so we played this video. Again, I had them right at the beginning, play the video, and then I literally had them call like the person like during class, and some of them spoke to them. Many of them left messages, and it was just a very, very beautiful moment in my class. I mean, students thanked me for it. Many parents who were called like expressed great gratitude and appreciation for it. And I've developed really a lot of different activities and like letters and like writing things that'll get students to be more grateful, show more gratitude. I think it begins by just kind of expanding your definition of like, I don't actually teach English or I don't teach math. I teach people, I teach students. And these are the types of people and students and scholars that I hope to see in the world someday. And so that's all that I have for you guys for now. If you do have more specific questions about like other sort of activities or writing assignments that I've done, really do feel free to reach out to me. But I hope that you guys found it useful. See ya.